Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Fort Myers. It is our mission to love, grow, and serve for and with our community. Our Unitarian Universalist faith places love at the center of our shared values, and love is the power that brings us together. We are a community made of people who love on our own terms, express gender in our own ways. We are all sizes and abilities. We share all of our ethnic backgrounds, and we celebrate our differences as we do our similarities. We ask no questions about your origins or status, and we respect each other's pronouns. Here we come together, drawn by our shared values, into a community that makes us better than we are individually. If you are seeking a welcoming place to call home, to worship in your own way, to seek truth together, we hope you will find it within our congregation. I am Andrea Joy, and it is my pleasure to be your worship leader for today's service. It is even more a pleasure this morning to have my talented sons Skylar, Brenton, and the equally talented Angela Page to guide us through our journey, exploring social justice in music through the decades. It is their wonderful collaboration that has brought these songs together for us this morning, woven together in a tableau that expresses a variety of genres, social justice issues, and the music of those times. Also creating beautiful music for us are our music director, Jon Dalton, our growing and mighty choir, who will join with Skylar and Angela on a couple of songs as well as doing their own. Providing sound, lights, and Zoom are our amazing tech team who make this hybrid service, blending live and Zoom attendance, possible. Thank you all for your hard work. If you are attending by Zoom, I am pleased that you are able to join us in the virtual. Even though I'm not up here with Jennifer this morning, this is another opportunity for me to shake things up a little bit. We will still have all of the beloved aspects of service this morning, but we have a number of songs that we will explore the impact of social justice through as foundations of our service. However, I will start by doing the announcements first, so as not to break the flow at the end of our service. After service, I'd like you to join us for coffee and conversation in Hobart Hall, to the right as you leave the sanctuary. There are social justice tables in Hobart Hall with purple tablecloths, an info table with social justice information, as well as t-shirts for sale. We have postcards designed for sending to your representatives and a list of name and addresses. Please take and send postcards. There is also a table for seating with purple mugs that actually hold more coffee. Join us if you want info or to discuss the social justice specific issues that are brought up in today's musical service. Our non-monetary sharing partner is the Gulf Coast Humane Society. The congregation can help by donating pet food, blankets, towels, and cleaning supplies, and other pet-related items. Saturday, October 18th, we'll celebrate the first annual Frightfully Fun Fest from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., rain or shine. Please join our wonderful volunteers to help make this event great and a huge success. Sign-up sheets in the narthex and in Hobart Hall. I often speak about one of my favorite subjects during worship, social justice. There's a reason why I feel that social justice is such an important part of being a Unitarian Universalist. in addition to its part of our principles and values. In 1940, the Unitarian Services Committee, now the UUSC, was established to coordinate humanitarian efforts and offer aid to Eastern European refugees during World War II. In 1941, an Australian artist, Hans Deutsch, was forced to flee Austria and ended up in Portugal, where he met the Reverend Charles Joy, then executive director of the USC. The Service Committee was new, founded in Boston to assist Eastern Europeans, among them Unitarians as well as Jews, who needed to escape Nazi persecution. From his Lisbon headquarters, Joy oversaw a secret network of couriers and agents. Joy asked Deutsch to create a symbol for their papers, telling the artist he needed to make them look official, to give them dignity and importance, and at the same time to symbolize the spirit of our work. When a document may keep a man out of jail, give him standing with government and police, it is important that it look important. Deutsch created the flaming chalice design, which was made into a seal for papers and badges for agents moving refugees to freedom. In time, it became the symbol of Unitarian Universalists around the world. Our spiritual symbol of chalice and flame were born out of the need for recognition during times of great social justice crises. And so today, in the face of current suffering and oppression, the symbol of our faith shines as we respond with courage and refuse to retreat. Let us take the strength of our Unitarian Universalist ancestors as a guide for us to be that light in the world so that we may become the ancestors of the future that will make them proud. Please rise in body or spirit as we light our chalice. We light our chalice with these words by Melanie Davis. If ever there were a time for a candle in the darkness, this would be it. Using a spark of hope, kindle the flame of love, ignite the light of peace, and feed the flame of justice. Let us share our covenant together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help one another. You can be seated, thank you. We start our journey this morning with what was clearly a protest song. The issue of labor from 1931. Which side are you on? Sorry. In 1931, miners and mine owners became locked in a bitter and violent struggle in Harlan County, Kentucky. On one side were the coal miners fighting to organize their workplaces, seeking better wages and better working conditions, and on the other side was the Harlan County Coal Operators Association. The mining company hired Sheriff J.H. Blair and his men, and Blair illegally entered the homes of union organizers to intimidate their families. Activist Florence Reese was the wife of Sam Reese, a union organizer for the United Mine Workers. In an interview, Florence spoke about that night and the genesis of this song. Sheriff J.H. Blair and his men came into our house in search of Sam. That's my husband. He was one of the union leaders. I was home alone with our 7 children. They ransacked the whole house and then kept watch outside, waiting to shoot Sam down when he came back. But he didn't come home that night. Afterward, I tore a sheet from the calendar on the wall and wrote the words to the song, "Which Side Are You On?" to an old Baptist hymn, "Lay the Lily Low." My songs always go to the underdog, to the worker. I'm one of them, and I feel like I've got to be with them. There's no such thing as neutral. You have to be on one side or the other. Some people say I don't take sides, I'm neutral, but there's no such thing in your mind when you're on one side or the other. In Harlan County, there wasn't no neutral. If you wasn't a gun thug, you was a union man. You had to be. In the 1940s, Pete Seegar added the song to his collection of labor union songs, popularizing the coal miners' protest. "Which Side Are You On" became an anthem of labor struggles, with various workers organizing unions, picking up the song as their own, changing lyrics to fit the situation at hand. The battle of labor, the right to organize in unions, to seek just compensation and workers' protections, is a battle that has been fought by many over the years. Everyone deserves to have their inherent worth validated by reasonable compensation for their work, one that allows them to flourish. Everyone deserves that equity. As UUs, we affirm that it is our basic birthright of every human being to be housed, to be fed, to have access to health care, to live in a more just and equitable economic system, and in thriving communities. Our commitment to justice, compassion, and equity calls us to stand up in solidarity with those workers who seek a living wage and a more fair economy.
Come on, all you good workers, good news to you I'll tell of how a good old union has come in here to dwell. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Daddy was a miner and I'm a miner's son, and I'll stick with the union till every battle's won. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? They say in Harlan County there are no neutrals there. You'll either be a union man or a thug for J.H. Blair. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Workers, can you stand it? Oh, tell me how you can. Will you be a lousy scab or will you be a man? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Don't stand for the bosses, don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on? Which side are you on?
Thank you. The issue of immigration from 1948, Deportee. On January 29, 1948, The New York Times reported a plane crash in Los Gatos, California. Only the names of the flight crew and the security guard were printed, leaving out the names of the other individuals on that flight. Reports only listed the other passengers as deportees. Woodie Guthrie was struck by the fact that none of the Mexicans were named, even recognized as people, simply as deportees in all reports. Guthrie's response was to write a poem assigning symbolic names to the dead. When it was first written, Guthrie used simple accompaniment, chanting the words rather than singing. A decade later, a melody was written by a school teacher named Martin Hoffman, and Pete Seegar, a friend of Woodie Guthrie's at the time, began performing this song, which popularized it. The song is a protest about the dehumanization of migrant workers and their mistreatment. The opening lines are another protest of Guthrie's about the policy at the time of the government paying farmers to destroy their crops in order to keep the prices high. He felt that it was unacceptable to waste food when people were going hungry. Today, we are seeing the same terrible treatment of migrant workers and the dehumanization of the individuals who are being rounded up and placed in detention centers with horrific conditions awaiting deportation. Let this song remind us that each of these people deserve that human dignity of being acknowledged by name, that all people, regardless of their status or where they come from, what language they speak, or where they work, have inherent worth in our society. This year at the UUA General Assembly, it was voted to adopt the action of immediate witness to declare and affirm that immigrants are people who have inherent worth and inalienable rights. This is a call to show our advocacy, to speak the truth and correct the others' anti-immigrant narratives, to write to news outlets and lawmakers to advocate for migrants' rights.
The crops are all in and the peaches are rotting. The oranges piled and their grapes done. You're flying them back to the Mexican border to pay all their money to wait back again. Goodbye to my one farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. Your father's own father, he waded that river. They took all the money he made in his life. My brothers and sisters come working the fruit trees, and they rode the truck till they took down and died. Goodbye to my one farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be deportee. Some of us are illegal and some are not They chase us like outlaws, like rustlers, like thieves. Goodbye to my one, farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be Deportee. We died in your hills, and we died in your deserts. We died in your valleys, we died on your plain. We died beneath your trees, and we died in your bushes. Both sides of the river, we died just the same. Goodbye to my one, farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be Deportee. The sky plane caught fire over Los Gatos Canyon. A fireball of lightning and shook all our hills. Were all these friends all scattered like dry leaves? The radio says they're just deportees. Goodbye to my one, farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be Deportee. Is this the best way we can grow our big orchards? Is this the best way we can grow our good fruit? To fall like dry leaves to rot on the topsoil, and to be called no name except Deportee. Goodbye to my one, farewell, Rosalita. Adios, mis amigos, Jesus and Maria. You won't have your names when you ride the big airplane. All they will call you will be Deportees.
The Issue of Feminism from 1954, I Want to Be Evil. The 1950s mores called for a Hollywood starlet to be sexy, yet virginal. Being an unconventional, complex, successful woman, Eartha Kitt challenged those ideals of the status quo. Growing up in extreme poverty in South Carolina, she picked cotton as a child and often went hungry. At the age of 16, she joined the Catherine Dunham Company, and while on tour in Paris, she was discovered by a nightclub owner and began a successful career as a cabaret singer. She gained attention when Orson Welles dubbed her the most exciting woman in the world. As a woman who was sultry and a sexy tease, she continually spoke out for female freedom against society's double standard for women. Being considered a black female star, she challenged the segregated Hollywood establishment as well. The song I Want to Be Evil highlights how society viewed women who expressed their freedom, and Eartha sang it with feeling. She advocated for impoverished youth early in her career and went on to become a fighter for women's rights and civil rights in the 1960s. When she spoke out against the Vietnam War in 1968 at a White House luncheon, she was shown the door. The CIA branded her a sadistic nymphomaniac. And she later commented she couldn't imagine how that had anything to do with the CIA. Eartha Kitt challenged how our society views a beautiful, strong-willed, successful woman. In that way, this song is the epitome of feminism, with its comment about what is considered evil in a woman. From 1970s to today, the UUA has supported women's rights issues in a multitude of general resolutions and actions for immediate witness, calling on us to support and create relationships with feminist and womanist activist organizations, to bring our liberal faith-based voice to demonstrations and rallies, speak out about our faith's moral imperative to advance gender justice. We are called upon to support a woman's right to bodily autonomy. We are asked to examine ourselves and our congregations and evaluate our own support of gender justice.
Posed for pictures with ivory soap. I petted stray dogs and shied clear of dope. My smile is brilliant, my glance is tender, but I'm noted most for my unspoiled gender. I've been Miss Rheingold, though I never touched beer. I'm the person to whom they say, "You're sweet, my dear." The only etchings I've seen have been behind glass. Closest I've been to a bar is at ballet class. Prim and proper girl who's never been cased. I'm tired of being pure and not chased like something that seeks its level. I wanna go to the devil. I wanna be evil. I wanna spit tax. I wanna be evil and cheat at jacks. I wanna be wicked. I wanna tell lies. I wanna be mean and throw mud pies. I wanna wake up in the morning with that dark brown taste. I wanna see some dissipation in my face. I wanna be evil. I wanna be mad, but more than that, I wanna be bad. I wanna be evil and drop an ace just to see my partner's face. I wanna be nasty. I wanna be cruel. I wanna be daring. I wanna shoot pool and in the theater. I wanna change my seats just so I can step on everybody's feet. I wanna be evil. I wanna hurt flies. I wanna sing songs like a guy who cries. I wanna be horrid. I wanna drink booze, and whatever I got, I'm eager to lose. I wanna be evil, a little evil me, just as mean and evil as I can be.
And interesting to see the concept of how those words relate to a guy singing that song, because it's very different, and we forget that that double standard never stood for men. Thank Thanks, Skylar. I like that. So to take a break from our musical service, a much honored and beloved aspect of service at UUCFM is the sharing of the stones of intention. In this way, we share of ourselves with one another, in support of each other, in community. We are able to blend our unique joys and sorrows and intentions for our futures with the intentions of others in our beloved community, sharing our congregation's collective energy in support of each other's intentions. This lends a special power to those prayers. Mingling and sharing of our collective energies brings the power of love and caring to and from our congregation. I love that sound. I do. If you have a stone with you this morning, I invite you to hold that stone close, focusing on what you pray for. During the musical meditation, come up to place your stone in the bowls, knowing that you are joined with others in this beloved community. And if you do not already have a stone, there are stones in the baskets beside the bowls. For our virtual attendees, you can place a virtual stone of intention by using the Zoom chat box. I would like to place the first stone for all of the social justice challenges that arise today, the threats to our democratic way of life. May we retake the gains that we have made over the past centuries in order to further the causes that we champion and move closer to creating the beloved community that we envision. Please come forward. I would like to place the final stone for all of the things that remain, all of the pains and confusion, everything that remains unspoken that we still feel within our hearts and in our spirits. The issue of racism from 1964. A change is going to come. In the 1950s, Sam Cooke sang with the gospel group the Soul Stirrers, and his vocals drew much attention. By 1961, he started his own record label and was a hit on both the pop charts and the R&B. He was considered the king of soul. The song A Change Is Gonna Come tells the tale of many of his experiences of injustice and segregation. The chorus repeat speaks of his hope and belief of social change to come. It is said that one of the episodes in his life that inspired the song was when, in 1963, in Louisiana, he called ahead to a Holiday Inn and made reservations for his wife and himself. But when they arrived with their group, the clerk told them, "Oh, there's no vacancies." Clearly because of the discriminatory policies of the whites-only hotels and other establishments. It was later said that when he heard the Bob Dylan song "Blowin' in the Wind" in 1963, he was amazed that this song about racism had come from a white man, and that as a black man, he had not yet written a song about the subject. He was further influenced by the messages of Dr. Luther King Jr.'s "I Have a Dream" speech about the civil rights, at the Civil Rights March in Washington that same year. A Change Is Coming became an anthem of the civil rights movement. And after winning the 2008 presidential election, Barack Obama quoted the song saying, "It's been a long time coming, but tonight change has come to America." Sadly, today, we have seen a shift in the tide of that wave of change from only a few years ago. Unfortunately, while we may consider ourselves allies, many Unitarian Universalist congregations are predominantly white, forcing us to challenge our own assumptions about how we are welcoming. It has become even more vital that as a faith community, we need to recommit ourselves to being fully inclusive and anti-oppressive. This calling comes from our principles and values, recognizing oppressive systems as violations of human dignity. To find spiritual maturity and growth, we must listen to marginalized voices and create a space where the truths can be expressed. We must reaffirm that we live by a covenant of care that binds us, holding each other in love and kindness regardless of differences.
I was born by the river in a little tent. Oh, and just like that river, I've been running ever since. It's been a long time coming, but I know change is gonna come. Oh, yes, it will. It's been too hard living, but I'm afraid to die, 'cause I don't know what's out there beyond
The Issue of Justice from 1978, I Fought the Law. The song I Fought the Law, as recorded by The Clash, became a punk anthem, telling of a man driven by desperation to crime, being caught and facing the punishment of the law. The song was written in 1958 by Sonny and then recorded by the group The Crickets. But the Clash version of this song was the most popular cover. Previous recordings of this song had taken what sounded like it should have been a rebel song and made it far more downbeat and depressing. This punk band's cover added the impetus of the punk culture and following with a very rabble-rousing sound. I Fought the Law was a statement to the anarchic spirit of punk music. The rebellious note of the song is a call for us to recognize the iniquities of the criminal justice system and the prison industrial complex. It has long been pointed out that the incarcerated are predominantly from racial and ethnic minorities and poorly educated and lower income backgrounds. Not only are those individuals more frequently incarcerated, but they very often face greater sentences than those of patriarchal white background. Our penal system creates a class of legalized slavery, supported by the 13th Amendment to the Constitution, which abolished slavery except as a punishment for crime. Even after release, our system makes it difficult for anyone to reintegrate into society. Without opportunities, skills, and services to fully function, they are unable to reintegrate into society, and recidivism rates climb. This year's GA proposed the Congregational Study Action issue of Abolition, Transformation, and Faith Formation. Quoting from the CSAI, abolition is a holistic approach to systemic social change that includes, but is not limited to, the abolition of slavery, replacing systems and cultures of violence, coercion, and control with transformative justice and relational practices, dismantling the prison industrial complex as we now know it.
If you know this one, sing it with us, okay? I'm gonna encourage you.
Breaking rocks in the hot sun, I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I needed money 'cause I had none. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. Kill my baby and it feels so bad. Guess my race is run. She's the best girl that people with a 6-gun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I left my girl and I lost my fun. I fought the law and the law won. I fought the law and the law won. I killed my baby and it feels so bad. Guess my race is run. She's the best girl that
of War from 1994, Zombie. In Northern Ireland, the 1960s through 1998 was a time of conflict between the Irish Republican Army, known as the IRA, and the British Loyalist paramilitary. There were thousands of bombing attacks, with more than 3,500 people killed from those bombs. On March 20th, 1993, 2 IRA explosive devices were hidden in a litter bin on a busy shopping street. 56 people were injured and 2 children were killed. Jonathan Ball, aged 3, was killed at the scene, and Tim Perry, aged 12, died in the hospital from his injuries. Dolores O'Riordan, okay. Dolores O'Riordan, the lead singer of the band The Cranberries, was struck by the children's senseless deaths. This inspired her to write the song Zombie, speaking out against the cycle of violence. The song was considered too controversial by the record label, but O'Riordan insisted they release it as a single. She stated that she hoped it might make people reflect a bit more on our society and what we've become. Some have said the zombie in the song could be representative of the people dealing with the ongoing conflict, overwhelmed by the violence. Another aspect is that it represents those fighting a battle that had generations of conflict, caught in the cycle of violence without fully understanding the true cost. Our Unitarian history has a debate of pacifism versus the just war. Going back to 1917, with the debate between Reverend John Hayes Holmes versus President William Howard Taft. Reverend Holmes believed that the Unitarians should consider to allow the varying positions on entering World War I, even though his own position was one of pacifism. Taft argued that it was necessary for the Unitarians to show there was only one option among them in supporting the government's entry into the war. In 2024, one of the General Assembly actions of immediate witness was a statement of solidarity with the Palestinian people in the conflict with Israel. While condemning the Hamas kidnappings of Israelis on October 7th and showing support for the Jewish well-being, this AIW called for an immediate permanent ceasefire, massive humanitarian aid, and the release of all captives, and an end to the genocide around the world. In a faith where we value the worth and dignity of each individual, seek to create a beloved community where each is treated with equity, compassion, and love, there may still be among us the debate between pacifism and what is considered a just war. This is also a part of our faith, the right of conscience, the individual's right to their views and opinions.
Slowly, child is slowly
Partner program is one of the things that the Social Justice Committee is tasked with each year. We seek organizations that align with our mission and values, organizations that serve a section of our greater community by battling one or more of our current social justice issues. In 2023, UUCFM established the Holly Rowan Environmental Leadership Award. Today's offering will be in support of this award, as it represents UUCFM's commitment to environmental justice. The Southwest Florida Reset Center is a proud partner in the implementation of this award. Reset believes that as human beings, our great work in the 21st century and our prime interbeing responsibility is to restore Earth as our sacred ecological trust. Through the process of choosing candidates and sponsoring the award ceremony, Reset shows its support to those who are actively helping to create a healthier environment for all of us. You can determine where you would like your funds to be designated by indicating on your check or envelope or the drop-down menu if you are donating electronically, either UUCFM or Sharing Partner. If you don't already have an envelope and you wish to show support for UUCFM's congregational programs, envelopes can be found at the end of the pews. Unmarked envelopes are designated for UUCFM. All loose funds in the collection will be donated to the Holly Rowan Award.
How many roads must a man walk
rise in body or spirit for our words of gratitude. By the work of our hands and the work of our hearts, our love is made real. May we be grateful for all that is given and grateful for all that is shared. As we extinguish our chalice, I'd like to offer these words by Jean M. Rowe. We have a calling in this world. We are called to honor diversity, to respect differences with dignity, and to challenge those who would forbid it. We are a people of a wide path. Let us be wide in affection and go our way in peace. Let's say our promise together. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts today till we ever again. One last song. The issue of, you can be seated, the issue of class and property from 2010. Pardon in Manhattan. As we complete our presentation of social justice in music, I'd like to leave you contemplating this last social justice issue, that of class, poverty, property ownership, and anarchists performing community service that our government fails to do. This song by a folk punk band called Wingnut Dishwashers Union is called Pardon in Manhattan. The song's title places the anarchist philosophies of Pierre-Joseph Proudhon in the conflicting context of Manhattan, a city that is the symbol of excessive wealth and capitalism. Proudhon defined anarchy as the absence of a master or a sovereign. He urged workers to form themselves into democratic societies with equal conditions for all members. He stated, "I build no system. I ask an end to privilege, the abolition of slavery, equality of rights, and the reign of law." The basic philosophy of this anarchy can be expanded to reflect the very basics of beloved community outside of the socio-political structures. The calling for equal rights and equity, an end to privilege, for freedom to be reached outside of the repressive systems of our current society. A showing of community over commerce and mutual aid over government intervention.
This one's going to be a little bit different. I stick tape in the holes in my shoes. I stick my tongue in the holes in my teeth. I stick expletives in the holes in my thought process when I speak. My friends stick to their guns, they got a bunch in the woods of Vermont till the end times come. But Saturn says he's gonna learn to live, as if the world wasn't gonna end and I admire his strength. So today I'm gonna do my best to drink coffee in the morning and live as if I didn't feel lonely and hopeless and helpless, to save myself from the world where I live. And tonight, when I dream, it will be that the junkies spend all their drug money on community gardens and collective housing, and the punk kids who moved to the ghettos that started meeting their neighbors we don't need government to do these things. And I wake up, burning Times Square as we sing. Throw your hands in the air, 'cause property is robbery.
I would like to thank Angela and Skylar for a wonderful performance this morning. And for creating this list of powerful songs to demonstrate how social justice issues have appeared in music over the years. In closing, I want to remind us of our Unitarian ancestors who risked their safety and security, even their lives, to fight the great injustices they saw in a fascist regime. May we find their strength and courage to fight the battles. May we see in our lifetimes. Let us become the strong, resilient ancestors of the future. I leave you with these words by another Andrea, Andrea Hawkins Camper, who expressed a sentiment I could not have found better words for. May we see all as it is, and may it all be as we see it. May we be the ones to make it as it should be. For if not us, who? If not now, when? This is the answering cry of justice with the work of peace. This is the redeeming, the pain of history and the grace of wisdom. This is the work we are called to do, and this is the call we answer now. To be the barrier and the bridge, to be the living embodiment of our principles, and be about the work of building the beloved community, to be a people of intention and a people of conscience. Have a blessed day, and thank you all for joining. Blessed be and amen.